Hey, how's it going everyone? It's me, it's Jinsula. I hope you're having a good day and welcome to today's Pokemon Go video. Alright, so today I wanted to talk about the Wild Area event which Niantic just announced, and this is looking to be another major event in line with Pokemon Go Tour and Pokemon Go Fest. This was something that I actually predicted earlier on when I said that because Niantic was doing Pokemon Go Fest just a little bit earlier than usual this year, I thought they were gearing up for a third major event, and it looks like I was right. Now, we can only speculate what Niantic is going to do for this third major event, but I predict it's going to be themed around the Galar region. The reason why I say that is because the concept of a wild area was first introduced in the Galar mainstream games, notably Pokemon Sword and Shield. And then on top of that, we just started a season, or we're about to start a season, that are going to be featuring a whole bunch of Galarian Pokemon along with Dynamax Pokemon. So it does fall in line with the theme of where Niantic wants to go when it comes to Pokemon Go. And I do think that for this wild area event, it's going to be centered around a whole bunch of Galarian spawns. Now, I do think it's going to be completely different from what we've already had, considering that every single major event within Pokemon Go follows a very specific theme. The Go Tour event always highlights a very specific generation of Pokemon, and then the Go Fest event tends to be a celebration of Pokemon Go. But this third event could be something completely different. Maybe it's going to be all about catching specific Pokemon or doing some sort of scavenger hunt within a city. I really do not know what the theme could be, but I really hope Niantic gets creative, because the last thing I would want is a copy and paste of either a Go Tour or a Go Fest event. There are certainly a lot of speculations online regarding what this wild area event is going to be. I think some players are hoping that it's going to be something similar to City Safari events, considering that those events are very popular. But Niantic is actually having some City Safari events already lined up, so I do think it's going to be something completely separate. Maybe it won't be raid heavy and special research heavy like we typically see with Go Tour and Go Fest. Maybe it's going to be more about exploration, considering that for the past couple of years, that's been the big emphasis with Niantic and some of the design decisions that they've been making. Maybe they're going to have some sort of new gameplay feature that's going to be highlighted during this event. I really do not know what they could end up doing, but at the very least, I'm extremely excited because yeah, we got ourselves a third major event, and that definitely is going to be a good thing for Pokemon Go. I mean, a few years ago when they introduced Pokemon Go Tour, I thought that was a really smart move, considering that when it came to the post-pandemic era for Pokemon Go, they needed to create something to get players to go out and play the game once again. And I felt like with the Go Tour event, they achieved a lot of that because they had an in-person event that went extremely well, but on top of that, they also started having a lot of different mechanics which we did not see before, and it definitely drove up a lot of engagement. And then with the Go Fest events, they've been definitely ramping up how creative they can be with those events, and with this Wild Areas event, maybe they could do something completely new. But I really do not know what it's going to entail. Maybe it will be a complete failure and we'll never see a Wild Area event ever again. But at the very least, I do think that there's a lot of potential here for Niantic to do some really cool things. I mean, imagine if they do something completely off the wall where it's going to be a routes themed event or an AR photography themed event. I do not think any of that would ever be popular, but I think if they stuck to what works with the core events of Pokemon Go Tour and Go Fest, then I do think that this third Wild Area event is definitely going to be successful. So yeah, this event is going to be happening in November, and you could buy tickets for it right now within the web store. You should definitely go over there and check it out, but I do suggest that you hold off on buying any tickets until we get more concrete info on what this event is going to be. Especially if you live in somewhere that's not Japan and you need to travel for it, it may not be worth the investment if the event ends up being something lackluster. You would probably be better off just doing the global event, because the last thing I would want is for a whole bunch of players to buy tickets for this event without knowing what it's going to be, and then Niantic sees that there's a whole bunch of pre-sales and they just do not put a lot of effort into executing what this event is going to have. Yeah, that definitely has happened in the past, and I would definitely like to see this event not go down that route. But in any case, yeah, that's going to be it for this video. I just wanted to share my thoughts regarding this Wild Areas event, and I do think that there's going to be a lot of discussions online regarding what this event is going to be. So if you have any thoughts regarding this Wild Areas event, then definitely share it in the comment section down below so that we can have a great discussion. And thank you so much for making it all the way to the end of this video. If you ended up enjoying it and found it to be insightful, make sure you hit that like button and subscribe if it's your first time here, and don't forget that little bell so you can stay up to date on whenever I upload videos. And real quick, let me give a shout out to all of my patrons on Patreon. If you want to support the Jinsula channel, the absolute best way you could do that is by joining my Patreon page. And if you become a paid Patreon member, you get a permanent spot on my in-game Pokemon Go friends list. And of course, supply is limited. But if you want to play Pokemon Go with me with remote raids and the friendship system, then make sure you go and check out my Patreon. And if you want to support my channel in a completely different way, you can do so by following me on social media. My handle is @Jinsula. I'm on the platforms that you see on screen. Make sure you go over there and give me a follow. And that's going to be it for this video. I'm Jinsula. Be safe, have fun, love yourself, and I'll catch y'all later.